How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to delve into some animation, time to get that imagination cranked up to 11, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from another name that I'm probably going to mispronounce, but I love his work, and that is Greg Tocchini. Let's check it out over here. It's got a lovely watercolor style, just a really loose coloring that I really dig, and the anatomy is a little bit hyper realistic, but really unique in its own style, that it blends beautifully strong anatomy with that little bit of sense of caricaturization or his own personal style that's just gorgeous. I mean, check this page out. The composition here is just wonderful. The way everything works together and plays together, gorgeous. The color choices, phenomenal, and great posing throughout this as well. And that goes, this is one of those artists where while I'm looking for things to share with you, I get lost in finding just almost page after page of things that I find that he's done. I'm just in love with, and I'm always fascinated by people whose work, at least me personally, and there's other people that I'm sure the aesthetic appeals to them more, but when I find someone that their work is just consistently something that I'm drawn to, I really love that. Whereas other times, sometimes you'll find stuff that you really love a piece, and then there's some other stuff that you don't. And this is, I'm fortunate to say for sure that his work, at least everything that I've come across so far, I've just been enamored with. I mean, check out the lines of action and the composition here for this page that really direct the viewer's eye. You've got the smoke in the background. Everything's just working so well here together. I believe this is a play off of Iron Man, which again is just a great retelling or reimagining of the character as well. Gorgeous stuff. Great exaggeration with the big bulky chest and the littler legs. I really like that too. Really makes the character his own for sure. So definitely check out more stuff from Greg here as well. But I did want to share a quote. We'll leave held up on this one. I really like this one too. He said, "I'm trying to do my best all the time and to express all my excitement on the pages." And I thought that was a great quote and a great mentality or workflow or process or ideal to hold strong to, is to just do your best all the time. And that's okay if your best isn't good enough for you or good enough for someone else yet, but it's your best. It's what you can do. It's what you can bring. You're bringing it each and every time. And that you're trying to get those emotions that you feel and that excitement that you feel at the start of a project, or the start or the birth of that idea, or that original image that you have in your mind or sound that you have in your mind, and to really express that the best that you can and try and get that connection between that original idea to the end product as well. So let's go ahead and get into some animation. We're continuing on with our pull jump anim that we've been working on for a couple of days here. Got the hiccups? No, maybe? Okay. So let's go ahead and just play it and see where we're at here. Okay, so what I want to do today, and we are using the Goon rig. It's from the How to Cheat in Maya series. For more information on that, check out the links in the description below. We're also using Autodesk Maya 2014 for today's video. Again, check out the links in the description below if you want more information on that as well. And we're just taking another breakdown. What I think I really want to focus on for this portion is going to be kind of frame 75 to about 110, and just get that to feel a little bit better. And I think I want to do a couple more steps back too, so that I can have a little more room to do that run, because I'd like to be able to get those steps a little bit better. So I think that's what we'll approach. And then if time, I'm guessing that was probably going to take us, we could spend at least an hour working on that. So that's probably where we're going to spend the bulk of our time. But if time permits, then we'll hit up the ending here a little bit more. But I think that's probably going to be a full day in itself too, or at least a full hour. So let's go ahead and break our frame range down. We'll start at about 40 just to narrow things down here, and go to about 125. And we'll probably go even less than that, but just so we know where we're going at there. That's the stuff that we'll really be touching. I kind of want to do a little bit more with this walk back, but maybe I'll narrow it down just so I can really focus. So we'll do about 80. From frame 80 to about 125 is what we'll really be tackling for right now. And that's kind of how my workflow I like to do is, well, I'm still kind of in the breakdown stages to really narrow in the frame range, so I'm not looking at the whole thing as a whole and trying to do that. It just gives me a little bit better workspace to go with. And one thing I didn't do, I think, before I enter this was save the file. So I'm going to do that real quick, and I'm just going to pause just because that sometimes takes it. Remember, it's always good to save multiple versions and to save often. So let's take a look at where we're going. Now, I think before I really want to break down all of this, I want to get into working a little bit backwards from this thing so I can get those nice running steps that I want in there. So keep everything we have here. Let's take this foot and window, animation editors, graph editor. Let's look at our translate Z here. I'm going to push this. Let's see what we can zoom out there. I'll push this back a bit so it'll be. This one, and we'll push this foot back and translate Z here. And we'll look at the hips here as well. And bring that back still a little more. Let's push it further. If we're going to do this, we may as well do it right there. Pull the hips back. Again, we're going to have to redo. We've got a lot of the information in there. It's just kind of looking at the translation of everything. Give me 128 just so I can blend that movement. Okay, I'll keep that there. This should probably be right there. That. Yeah, let's see now. Okay, and then we'll want to bring this foot back here. I'm trying to reverse engineer this run so I can get bigger steps here. And I'm sure we'll get rid of that one. And let's see. this is where I want to take that back to about there instead. Bring those hips back. About there. Bring that foot back. To about there. Hold it till there. And hold this one. This one. About right there. So we'll just bring that over. Delete those two. So let's see. And let's look at the hip here. Hold it till about there. Okay. Still probably a little far. Let's try and go somewhere more. And that should be forward. More like that, right? Alright. Now let's get all of the translate Z's around here. Push them back even further. Okay. Again, we're going to have to redo some stuff, I'm aware, but I want this to have enough steps there and to be able to get that momentum that we'll need to go in there. This might be a little bit back because I want enough room to get into that next move there. Let's see that now. That feels better. Again, we'll have to polish that up, but I think we've got what we need. So now let's try and look here. Okay, now let's do one of those things where we know we have it there, and we have it there. I'll go ahead and delete that. And we'll break that down further. And give me probably another 10 frames in there. So let's grab everything here and give me a few more frames in there. Okay. Keep that foot held there for another few frames. Bring that foot back there. Set that foot, hold that till about there. And try to keep it in just a couple of little moves. So let's make that kind of in the middle there. Put that. Just gonna delete that. this one could originally land a little bit further back to something like that. Go a little bit further back there. Alright, now let's look at that now. Okay, now let's change our frame range from, that's what, 120. I want to try and blend those moves a little bit more. So let's look at 70. We got here. We'll set that, and then set this one. We'll delete everything in between there. Time that a little bit more, so cut a frame or so from there. Let's see. Yeah, let's look at those rotate X's. Let's try and make that a little bit more of a transition there. Key that, and we'll slow out of it a little bit more. Let's see. Hold on one second. All right, where were we? Should we switch and do? Maybe we should. Okay, that's right. So we'll do that foot there. We'll hold this one till there. We'll try and blend those steps a little bit more. This one will go here. Hold that up there. This one can go back. Got our translates here. This one could probably be further back here. Push our hips back. Let's see. Alright, we gotta time it a little better. Set everything there. And that one will delete step, so let's try and push it a little bit more. Yeah, this stuff all occurs too soon, so we probably need to get about 2 more frames here. Still need to be super fast. And a couple more frames in between there. Let's look at translate C. Try and make that fairly consistent throughout. Let's see. Maybe push that one back a little bit more. Try to keep them balanced there. This one could go back a little bit more here too. Yeah, let's look at that now. Okay, and we'll also add a little bit up and down on those feet. And a little bit here too. A little bit of lift for the passing position. And this will keep it there for a couple more frames. And then let it sit. So I do just a little lift step there, just a tiny little thing. It will even keep that on the ground. Let it slide just a little bit. So it just slides it in towards it a little bit more. And maybe not as long of a hold, and let it slide for another frame, so it's a little bit slower. Let's see. Give me another couple of frames for all of this stuff. So give me another frame in here. Another frame there. So let's see that now. Okay, and let's try and look at it from a wider context of how it works within our scene. So go to about frame 40. Maybe it's about 25 where that starts. And that hit might even go back a little bit further. Rotate X, maybe go up a little bit more. Just trying to get that arm position. let's look at that now. Still feel like we could ease into the rotate X a little bit more. So let's look at the rotate X here. A few more frames as we're easing out of there. A few more frames as we're going in there. Let's see that now. And then I wanted to hit like another acting beat here where he's kind of thinking about what he's going to do, or like an anticipation kind of a beat there. So give me about 6 frames, maybe 10 frames in there, so I really can read what's going on. Let's cut a couple of frames from here. So it kind of blows out of there. So I'll go from 28 and that'll be 130, or 133 will be our 130 there. Move a little faster so it kind of explodes out. Actually, let's go there. I'll delete this one. Okay, let's look at that transition a little bit better. I think I could still hold this for a few more frames. Give me another like 6 frames in there. Just to add some more texture here. Okay, and now let's look to about 160. Let's see how we're doing. I think the rotate Y we have should start a little bit sooner, so it kind of is easing in there. There we go. Still feel like we're not slowing out of that rotate X enough. It kind of doesn't pop, but it's a little too quick. So I want to go slow out of there. A couple more frames. And it could even take almost till about there to get in there. Keep it. Give it a couple more frames. Alright, see how that feels. So we have a little more slow out of that position to slow into that one. that's working a lot better. Let's go ahead and save our file, and let's polish up that stuff a little bit more. So, go back into the hips and try and finish out those last couple steps of that walk there. Okay, it's going to be down there. Still want to do a little bit of up just on the passing position, so we get a little bit of moves a little bit more. So let's do this. Go. This is our passing position, and this would be our contact, so we'll go here. As you can see, what I'm doing is I'm just keying along the same line, and then I can vary it within there, so that way I can get a little bit of up and down, but still keep kind of a universal downward movement to those hips, but still keep a little bit of bounce to them. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab every other one here and go down with that, right? I believe. Let's see. See if that works. And we'll grab every other one here. We'll go up with it a little bit. And we'll see how that feels. That way we still have a little bit of weight there. See? But we still have that universal downward movement going throughout. Alright. I think I'll throw another one here just for good measure. Just so it doesn't walk off. And let's look at a rotate Y here. This one, that back, and let's see how that feels with the rotate Y's there. And I think the translate Y might be a little bit too much right towards the end there. So that one in particular just might feel a little too hot. And let's do a little bit of overshoot in our translate Z. So like right here, we could overshoot back just a little bit. You gotta be careful. Don't want to do a ton of that, but a little bit. So we don't start going forward until we're really ready. so we have that little bit of movement there in the hips. I think we could probably grab everything here and give me that 2 frames in between there. Okay, let's see how that feels. So get that real slow. Okay. Now let's continue on with the hips here. Keep going, do a little bit of rotate Z there. A little bit here. Bring that one all the way back there. Throw another key in here. And do a little bit for that move there too. Doesn't have to be much, but we may as well keep it up a little bit. And I'm kind of going to taper these a little bit less. Okay, and let's look at the feet there. I'm going to vary up these steps a little bit more so they're not feeling too redundant here as well. So let's vary them from what they were before. And drag the toe down here. Lift them up there and flatten it out. And let's look here. Drag the foot down there. And I think I'll do a little bit of heel roll here. A little bit of toe. Just so there's still some movement in the foot there. And we're going to push that toe move. Should be down here instead. And probably a frame sooner and not so much. Just kind of keep alive in that foot for that scoop back. I think maybe we should push this foot, this step a little bit further back because I feel like that next one was just a little too long, a little too fast. So let's see if that still works for our balance there. That's fine. Alright. And let's look at the arms here. so those arms are still keeping alive there. Bring that forward there. And a little bit of movement there. Start that frame sooner, so yeah, let's make sure we don't have any intersection between that arm and the leg. I don't think we do. It's just very close, which is fine. And let's look here at this arm and see where we ended off before. Now we want to kind of merge those two movements. Should go back a little further now. This one might be a little too far. Let's see. Yeah, I think I just might get rid of that one. Okay, and I think we could pump those arms a little bit more now. Bring that back. Let's see. Maybe hold it for a couple more frames there. And let's look at this arm. Try to get that arm pumping a little bit more. And this one could be forward more. Okay, now let's look at those forearms. this arm. Drag back there. Bring it up here. Drag it back there. Bring it up here. Okay. Try to work not at a specific time, but with the general feel, and try and work with our silhouette there so we can get those running steps working a little better. Okay, so we know we want this move here. Just feel like there's something that's not hitting quite right here. We need to overshoot up a little bit here. Might work a little better. Okay, did I do the hand yet? I don't think I did. So set it there. So I can swing it forward a little bit. Drag it back. Swing it forward. Drag it back. Swing it forward there. Okay. Let's try to clean that up a little bit more. Alright, that works. And still has a lot of polish and stuff to go, but just kind of the overall thing. And I think what I want to do is make a fist here. I like to run with clenched hands. I feel like those runs feel a little more focused to me, so they're really like putting their energy into it. Rather than these loose hands, let's try and get a better hand pose here. And plus, I think that'll be an interesting acting beat to get the hands clenched in there. So he's got a little bit of determination here. And get that thumb over here, back a little bit. Maybe a little more out here. How are we doing on time? About at time. So let's get this working. But I think we got a good bulk of that stuff. We got the walk back to about enough spacing, and we got our run working a lot better. So we gave it enough space so that it can read for what it's supposed to be doing there. That thumb out of the way here real quick. It looks a little awkward. There we go. And middle here. It doesn't have to be a real tight fist, but we definitely want it to clench up there. I always feel like those give a little more purpose behind there, and that's what you want. You want the character to have the semblance, that illusion of life, that they're thinking about what they're doing. So you want to try and do that. Plus, I feel like the runs look a little better with more of a closed fist than an open fist. For some reason, those look a little more wacky to me when you have those open, which is definitely fun too, so you might play that up if you're doing a more crazy character that they just run with their hands flopping around. too, but most people usually, try to tighten up while they're running. At least that's from my experience what I've seen. Okay. So I'll go here. Don't have to hit till about 20. Bring that to about 132. Delete that one. Hold that till at least about 150. And I think I'll let them get there a little bit slower. So keep him open for a few more frames so that hits more when he's really getting in there. Let's see that now. excessive movement. Let's see that. Okay, let's take everything on the thumb. I'll delay that a couple of frames. Okay, and let's do something similar on this side here. I think what I'm going to do here is take all of the bases, just something a little bit different so that both hands aren't so similar here. And we're going to overshoot them up a little bit. And then we'll take all the mids and tips, same thing. And we'll delay those all frame. And then all of the tips. And we'll delay those all frame. And the thing is, I'm not getting too polished with it, but I'm building this all in here. So if I need to retime stuff or redo anything, the basic information's all in there, and any sort of variety that we're going to get from retiming or moving some keys around and stuff in the future is going to help give a little bit more variety, because I don't want them feeling so much like they're working all together as one. I like to have a little bit of variety in the hand posing and stuff too. But I like to try and build as much as I can into those hand poses to get those acting beats where I can. And sometimes if the face isn't, if it isn't a close-up shot, you have to build those acting moments into the whole body and into the hands especially to really get that sense of feeling there. And so the thumb, so like that, a couple of frames. And let's see. I think the middle base and ring base we could push a little bit more. Yeah, look at the thumb here. Let's see that now. And I think everything here we could delay it a couple of frames still. And maybe we'll add an extra bit of time in here. And again, I don't like to be too precise once I've got the basic idea, because then I can add that little bit of extra grit in there. Alright, so let's look at kind of areas that we were focused on, which we ended up adding a whole bunch more frames in there, because I think we're getting about our time here for the day, and ended up going to probably, what, 180? And 76. Still gotta do that ending, so that'll be tomorrow's project, to work on that for our animation time here. But let's look at the whole thing as a whole right now and see how it's working, see if it's working a little bit better, which I think it should. We'll go ahead and save our file here too, and click off here so that we can just look at it. I think there might be a couple of spacing issues in our run that we'll have to address, but we'll do that tomorrow, just to make sure that it feels a little more smooth. Feels like it's got a couple of little hiccups in there. pretty good overall. A lot better than it was before. It's not too bad on the run. It just feels like there's a couple of spots where the spacing isn't super even. Now, is there something I saw where like a hand got me goof that somehow? Great. Okay. So let's clean that up here real quick before we do that. So it's an IK weight problem, it should be. And then we'll look at this stuff here. I think we didn't have these controllers selected, so I'll have to retime it a little bit here. So this is where we should start pretty much. Just try and match them up maybe in the beginning. Keep holding, keep holding. I think it's right about here where that switch is supposed to be. Okay. And that's one of the problems you can get from retiming stuff is sometimes you run into stuff like this, which is okay. Might still have to get in here. let's just redo it. It is a bummer because I thought that was working pretty well, but that's okay. And let's get the IK weight at 1 here, and the elbow twist. Where's it? Come on. There. And just do one frame where it's like right in the middle here. Let's switch it. Full arm here. There we go. Rotate that up a little bit more. Over. Keep the elbow twist down. That up here. Elbow twist out here still. Push it over a little bit more. That should be pretty close there. Let's see it now. IK-FK transitions are always fun. Bring it forward. Okay, wait, completely to on here. Okay, look at the wrist. Bring that up here. Over. Drag it back a little bit. Give me some elbow down. So it'll go. And I think we need to get rid of set that there. Let's put our IQ weight on here. It's a little bit sooner. Delete that one. This can go 1 frame sooner. Step drag it up, out. Down a little bit more. A little more elbow twist. Go in a little bit more. And that can hit 1 frame sooner. What's going on there? In here. Over. Yeah, let's see that now. Alright, I think it was probably better the first time. We'll have to retouch that up, I guess, but that's okay. I feel like that front arm works a little bit better. Alright, nothing perfect with that stuff. It took us an extra little bit of time to redo that, but that's what happens sometimes when you retime stuff. If you don't grab all the controllers, especially when stuff's hidden off, we kind of had to readjust stuff, but that's okay. One thing I'll probably do here push the shoulder out, try and get us a better silhouette here. leave some space in between those. There we go. That fits better. Get that swing out. And maybe we give ourselves one more frame here. Yeah, we're going to translate Y. Bring that back down low. Set that one. Set that. Just find a better spot for this one. There we go. Swings that out. Comes back. Still gotta polish all that stuff up, but I think it's working a little better now. So maybe it was a good idea that wasn't working. Boy, so we were gonna finish this up like half an hour ago. It's an extra half an hour's worth of work, but I think it was worth. No more playing around with timing though, not for this shot. Okay, so let's go ahead and save our file one more time. I always like to not leave things broken when I'm done, so even if it means an extra half an hour or so playing around, it's a lot better for it, because we retimed some stuff, but we forgot that we did that IK-FK switch, which didn't follow us in our retiming, so there's a tip for you for the day. Now one thing maybe I'll do just for this one, because I feel like this frame isn't as clear. So maybe should still have this be out a little bit, because I don't want it to look like it's grabbing there. Gotta shut it down for the night. I'll be here all night if I get into this stuff again, but I think we got some couple good acting beats. We cleaned up that little problem we were having there, and let's take a look back at where we started. We're looking at the beautiful work of Greg Tocchini, and he said, "I'm doing my best all the time to express all my excitement on the pages. Keep trying, keep doing your best each and every day. Take another step in your journey and try to get that excitement and that energy and that sense of emotion and feeling into your work each and every time you delve into a new project. So I love you guys lots. Thanks for hanging out with me. This one was a little bit of a longer one, but like I said, I try to do these so that you can see the good, you can see the bad, you can see the mistakes, you can see the times when stuff works out, so that you get a little bit of encouragement and inspiration to go off and take another step in your journey each and every day. So I love you guys lots, and we'll wrap it up. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. Keep being awesome, and we'll see you for some more animation tomorrow.